We're still bringing you sports talk here, and away from the athletics preparation for the under 18 and under 20 championship, we will now head straight now to some basketball news where the Nigerian Basketball Federation has released the roster for the national female under 19 team expected to represent Nigeria at this year's World Under 19 Championship coming up in Czech Republic. The 12 players would be led by technical trio of Faustina Akere, Juliana Inyegifa, Atoye Atnanusuwa, Chinedu Stones as head coach, associate head coach and assistant coach respectively. The players include Jessica Ajayi Pius, Idubamo, Betty Wadu, Mavis Hamban, Bemisola Samuel Toby Mweke, and Memuluwa Tiyogbade. Others are Nora Ezike, Francisca Chuku, Olarewaju, Ayodeji, Abigail is Isaac, Olaoluwa or Victoria, and Favor Samson. These are players that have been selected, for this championship. And Mike, I know that preparations is our problem, but when you release a championship that, a roster for a championship like this with the players, it looks as though we are set a little. But I've not been having more, publicity or more outcome of what is happening until recently getting to see this list now.
Activities building up to such an event, you don't really get to hear much of the publicity except when we are getting closer and closer to the tournament. And if not for the fact that they've released the roster, I wasn't even aware per se that this championship is about to go down. So, like I said earlier, preparation has been the bane of our organizational structure here. We don't really prepare very well. But then I've taken our time to peruse through the names shortlisted or penned down for the championship. I think they are vibrant and a very hungry, basketballer who are willing to give their all to make their own mark. And of course, I strongly believe that we can go there and do the needful.
Doing the needful, and talking about doing the needful, I'm sure that we'll get to even see more of preparations. Now that the list has been released, we expect to see more from that side. Basketball activities in recent time, Mike, has in Nigeria, since the qualification of Rivers Hoopers to the Basketball African League, I haven't heard much. Even recently, I think there was a snippet that the Basketball Female League will kick off very soon. But all of these, it looks like they are a distracted federation, because if you are working, somehow there will be news popping out from your, these things don't hide. Somehow there will be things popping out, like the NSC is working, so you get to see a lot of sporting activities. So on that part, administratively, you think that the engine is working. Okay, even if they still have a lot to do, but you know that the things are happening. But in the Basketball Federation, I haven't heard much. In cricket, somehow, even if they don't play championship, at the moment they are back from these at 2020I and all that, you get to see what is happening. Recently, you saw the magic that happened when they gave out cricket, materials to schools. So, Uya Pata and his boys will always know what to do to keep the cricket activities on the lips of many who want to really know what is happening there. Basketball has not been the same since Ahmed Musa took over in this country. It looks more like they are even more slower than the last time.
I think for me, basketball is a discourse for another day, because of the failing and frail leadership within the system has made it very difficult for you to have a synergized calendar. One of the things which I think possibly affected Rivers Hoopers in the just concluded Basketball African League. Why? Our league ended months ago before the start of the Basketball African League, whereas other teams within the Sub-African region and Central African region, even the North African region, their leagues were on. Some of their leagues were on. They had to, of course, suspend their league to participate for the Basketball African League, and that is why we saw most of them doing very, very well. Why? Because the players were active, working, playing competitive games, building up to that Basketball African League. Whereas Rivers Hoopers, since the league ended, it's been months, no activities, to prep them up for the Basketball African League. And you expect them to go out there and compete favorably well with other teams that have been playing games week in, week out for their clubs. So more like a disadvantage already for them. We went out there, couldn't do the needful. Last time we got to the third position. This time around, we're even hoping to hit possibly to the final, but then courtesy of some of these challenges, Rivers Hoopers were knocked out early in the competition. Also for me, I think preparation and the proper organization from the side of the Nigerian Basketball Federation hasn't been the one that one would say that we are very happy about it. There are still so many lapses within the system. I think they should properly correct some of these errors. If not, I tell you, we continue to run round circle without achieving any positive result. You talk about the Tigers. That is the only team that for now we have a hope that possibly anytime that they are called upon, they are going to deliver. But you talk about the male category, even the junior teams, my brother, there is a lot of things that we can't just talk about on the air. If not, it would be like as though we are not even thinking positive about the federation. But then the federation needs to also brace up to the occasion and see how they can be able to organize the basketball league here, so that at least if we are competing against some of the best, not just here in Africa but anywhere, we can also hold our head very high, going out there beaming with confidence. So a lot of errors need to be corrected within the system.